Hello, my friends. How are you? I'm glad you are here. Welcome to our channel. Today we'll talk about quiz night, vocabulary, high numbers. Read 3 questions from a radio quiz show. Choose the right answer for each question. What is the approximate population of Vietnam? How many calories are there in a Big Mac? How far is it from New York City to Los Angeles? Let's listen and check.
4.42.
Question 1. What is the approximate population of Vietnam? Is it A, 68 million, B, 78 million, or C, 88 million?
I think it's C, 88 million.
C is the right answer. Question 2. How many calories are there in a Big Mac? Is it A, 670, B, 540, or C, 305?
I think it's A, 670.
Final answer?
Final answer, 670.
I'm sorry, the right answer is B. A Big Mac has 540 calories. And question 3, how far is it from New York City to Los Angeles? Is it A, about 2,500 miles, B, about 1,500 miles, or C, about 3,100 miles?
About 2,500 miles.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
A is the right answer.
Okay, the question is, how do you say 3 answers? How do you say the first one, 88 million? Letter number 2, 540. And this is about 2,500 miles. Good. Let's go to the vocabulary bank. Okay, let's do number 3 and number 4. Okay. The numbers 21, 30, 50, 59, 60, 67, 35, 40, 43, and 72, 8, 9, 94, and 100 or 100. Good. High numbers, right? The missing words are numbers. Okay. This is 200. The next one, 350. This 875. 1,000. Wow, 1,500. 1,500. The next one, 2012. Okay, the next, 5,420. This is 25,000. And this is 100,000. 2,300,000. Perfect. Look at the numbers below. Correct the mistakes. Tick with a risk. Okay, that's correct. 175, 2,105, and don't need. Okay, 3,009, that's correct. 20,000. Okay, this S don't need. and 3 million, just only 3 million. Listen and write the 10 numbers you hear. Okay, let's write the number here. Let's go one by one.
Point 44. 1,
199,
199,
2,
350,
3,
920,
Okay, just a sec. 200. Number 3 was 920.
4,
1,300,
300.
5,
3,437,
Wow, 3,437.
6,
7,700,
Okay, 7,700.
7,
50,000,
50,000. Okay,
8,
120,000,
120,000.
9,
40 million,
40 million. Perfect.
2,600,000,
Wow. 2,600,000. Okay. Listen again.
4.44. 1,
199,
2,
350,
3,
920,
4,
1,300,
5,
3,437,
6,
7,700,
7,
50,000,
8,
120,000,
9,
40 million,
10,
2,600,000.
Listening. What quiz shows are popular in your country? Listen to the introductions to a quiz show called Quiz Night. Answer the questions. Let's go.
4.45.
Good evening. Welcome to Quiz Night. Tonight's show comes from New York City. And our first contestant is Colleen from Miami. Hi, Colleen. Are you nervous?
Yes, a little.
Well, just try to relax. The rules are the same as always. I'm going to read you some sentences, and you have 10 seconds to say if the sentence is true or false. If you get the first answer right, you win $500. Then for each correct answer, you double your money. So if you get the second answer right, you win $1,000. And for the third correct answer, you win $2,000. For 8 correct answers, you win $64,000. But if you get an answer wrong, you lose all the money. Remember, you can also call a friend. So if you're not sure about one of the answers, you can call your friend to help you. Is that okay, Colleen?
Yes, okay.
Okay, listen to a contestant on quiz night. Check your answers to be how much did she win? Okay, let's go.
4.46.
Okay, Colleen. First question for $500. The North Pole is colder than the South Pole. True? False?
The North Pole is colder than the South Pole. False.
Correct! The South Pole is much colder. because it's much higher than the North Pole. In the summer, the average temperature at the North Pole is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but at the South Pole, it's minus 15. Now, for $1,000, carrots are sweeter than tomatoes. True or false?
I think it's true.
Correct! It's true! Carrots are about 5% sugar, but tomatoes, even though they are a fruit and not a vegetable, don't have any sugar at all. Okay, for $2,000, a proton is heavier than an electron.
I think it's true.
Correct! A proton is more than 1,800 times heavier than an electron. Next, for $4,000, the White House is bigger than Buckingham Palace. True or false?
The White House is bigger than Buckingham Palace. False.
Correct! Buckingham Palace has 775 rooms, but the White House has only 132 rooms. Next, for $8,000, oranges are healthier than strawberries. True? False?
True? No, false.
Do you want to call a friend?
No, I think it's false.
Correct! An orange has 70 milligrams of vitamin C. A cup of strawberries, a normal serving, has 98. Okay, for $16,000, female mosquitoes are more dangerous than male mosquitoes.
True.
Correct! Female mosquitoes are the ones that bite. Male mosquitoes don't bite. Colleen, for $32,000, in judo, a green belt is better than a blue belt. True or false?
I'm sure that's false. My brother does judo. False.
Correct! The order of belts in the lower stages of judo is white for a beginner, then yellow, orange, green, blue, brown, and black. And finally, the last question. Be very careful, Colleen. If you get it right, you win $64,000. But if you get it wrong, you get nothing. Are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay, for $64,000, hepatitis A is worse than hepatitis B. True or false? Quickly, Colleen, your time is almost up.
I want to friend.
Okay, Colleen, so who do you want to call?
Kevin.
Is my friend?
Yes.
Okay then. Hello, Kevin?
Yes?
I'm calling from quiz night. Colleen, some help. You have 30 seconds, Kevin. Here she is.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Listen, Kevin, it's the last question. Hepatitis A is worse than hepatitis B. True or false?
I think it's true. Hepatitis A. Yes, that's the serious one.
Are you sure?
Yes, definitely.
Time's up. Okay, Colleen. True or false?
True.
Answer?
Final answer. True.
Oh, I'm sorry, Colleen. It's false. Hepatitis B is much more serious. You can die from it. You had $32,000, but now you go home with nothing.
Oh, Kevin! You wait until I see him.
Okay, listen to a contestant on quiz night. Check your answers to be how much does she win? Collins doesn't win any money. It's missing to answer the first question. Let's listen again.
4.46.
Okay, Colleen. First question for $500. The North Pole is colder than the South Pole. True or false?
The North Pole is colder than the South Pole. False.
Correct! The South Pole is much colder because it's much higher than the North Pole.
Let's go to grammar, comparative, adjectives. Look at the adjectives sentences in pairs. Answer the questions. Using adjectives to compare two things. What two letters do you put at the end of one syllable adjectives? Use er. Okay. Why is big? The word big is different because bigger above the letter G, an extra letter is also added because an extra is also added. Okay. What happens when an adjective ends in Y? What happens? The letter Y changes to I before the ER. The Y changes to I before the ER. Number 4. What words do you put in front the long adjectives? Example, dangerous, more dangerous. Of course, when we are comparing two things. For example, more dangerous. What is the comparative form of good and bad? Yes, good and bad. The words are better, better, and worse. What is the missing word in this sentence? For example, China is bigger than Japan. Let's go to grammar. Comparative adjectives. We have, is your sister older than you? Buckingham Palace is bigger than the White House. Female mosquitoes are more dangerous than males. My new job is better than my old one. The traffic is always worse in the evening. So, in comparative adjectives, we use than to compare two things. So, the adjective old, for example, become older, and cheap, cheaper, big, bigger, because adjectives ending one vowel plus one consonant. Okay, this double consonant adds er. For example, bigger, double G, and hotter, dry, drier, famous, more famous, and irregular adjectives, good, better, bad, worse, far, farther, or further. First one, write the comparative form of these adjectives. So, high, higher, dirty, dirtier, dangerous, more dangerous, good, better, thin, thinner, slow, slower, healthy, healthier, far, farther, comfortable, more comfortable, worse. Complete with a comparative adjective plus than. For example, my sister is younger than me. She's only 18. The farmer's market is cheaper. Cheaper than. Cheaper than. Okay, next one. Italian is easier than. Easier. Italian is easier for Spanish students. Okay, than it is for English students. It rains a lot in the spring. April is wetter than July. This restaurant is busier than when it first opened. Come in summer. The weather is better than in the spring. I love science. I find it more interesting. History. Oh, more interesting than Cusco is further from the ocean than Lima, or farther is the same. I'm shorter than my brother. The situation is worse than it was last year. Skiing is more difficult than I thought it was. Who is the best quiz contestant in the country? Ken Jennings. In 2004, Ken Jennings, a 30 years old software engineer, won more games than anybody in US quiz show history. It's in the past became a 74 game winner on Jeopardy. Won over $25 million. Wow. But Jeopardy was not the only quiz show he appeared on. In 2005, Ken completed on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? He answered all the questions except the last one because he wasn't sure he knew the answer. He didn't win and had to say, I am not smarter than a fifth grader. Ken was never a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but he was an expert, a person with a lot of knowledge. When contestants needed help, they called Ken. In 2011, Ken played Jeopardy again, but this time he competed against past Jeopardy champion Brad Hutter and Watson, an IBM supercomputer. In a two-game match, Watson beat both Ken and Brad. Ken was second and got $3,000, which he gave to a charity. Okay, people, thank you very much for today. God bless you. See you next class.